colonial pipeline attack. I'm telling you, it was one of the biggest cyber attack I ever witnessed. I was behind the register. Customers were freaking out. Oh my God, gas prices are so high. Oh, I'm losing my mind. This happened across East Florida. Guys, look it up. Go on Google, type in it. Colonial pipeline attack. Ever since then, I'm like, yo, what the heck? You could do this off a freaking laptop, a keyboard. So you're building content from raw data and stuff like that. And then I get a Teams meeting to HR. I'm like, okay, whatever. I join. Hey Malik, we love you, right? You know we're a family, right? I'm like, yeah. Well, you're being let go today, so you're gonna get a USPS label through your personal email. Just put our laptop in there, ship it back, and yeah, we'll give you your final paycheck next month.
How's it going, bro?
Pretty good, man. Just hanging in there. You already know.
Yes, sir. That's what's up, man. Man, so happy to have you on here. You have been someone I've been just watching from LinkedIn and a bunch of your posts over the last couple of months. And I've just seen your journey so far, and I thought it would be really cool to have you share your experience, and just really share what you've been up to and how you got to where you are right now. So let's start with, bare basics, like who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so my name's Malik Girondin. You know who I am. Who am I? Young dude, early 20s and stuff like that. We're going to talk about it. Recent graduate of WGU, many certifications, great network and stuff like that. But my background is quite interesting. I never went to the traditional IT school, never really played with computers when I was young. I came from a retail background, as you guys know. Started Cashier the first time I graduated out of high school. That was 2017, May. Mom put me into the job. I was kind of, awkward. I was a video gamer. I didn't know, I didn't have any social skills. So I started behind that cashier, and then I really transitioned to cybersecurity where I am now. We're going to further talk about that. That's just a quick introduction of who I am and how I really got here. Cashier turned cybersecurity content engineer. So yeah, we're going to talk about that a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love the energy, man. That's exactly what the title of this episode is going to be: Cashier turned defensive content engineer, or content engineer, because you might be making more than just defensive content. But yeah, so let's dig a bit more into life before cybersecurity. You said we're cashier. Can you talk more about that? What that looked like before you got into the cybersecurity industry?
Yeah, my first job was cashier at Walgreens, and I'm telling you, when I first got behind that register, I was scared. I'm gonna be honest, I was scared. I saw people from different backgrounds. They come into the register. Hey, I want a Marble Light, or I want this, I want that. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? And I was under 21 at the moment, so I couldn't even serve beer. So it kind of got awkward. All right, let me just call the manager and stuff like that. So really awkward time, but the thing I like about Walgreens, being there for 4 years, it really brought out my communication skills. I can talk to different people from different backgrounds, whether you're Nigerian, Japanese, and stuff. We can still chop it up. We can still get the lingo. It's all cool, and I love it. And check this out, Dave. We're in the culture of work from home. That's the new trend now. Before this is before the pandemic. I was working as a cashier. I got to see people face to face. Now daily communication is via phone and stuff like, oh, let me just text you and stuff like. I've been doing face to face and stuff like. So when it comes to work from home or Zoom, I can still do it. So that was my life as a cashier. I'm telling you, I love it. I advise people, to do some type of customer service or come from a customer service background, because it's going to bring so much dividends, whether it's in your cybersecurity career or just your professional life. Just being able to speak. Cashier.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. And it goes. Your communication skills are very, very obvious, right? You're able to just articulate very clearly and share what you really want to say. So moving from having that cashier role into cybersecurity, what exactly was it that sparked your interest and motivated you to pursue it as a career?
Yeah, so it was May 2021. Mark this on your calendar, guys. When this happened, it was a colonial pipeline attack. I'm telling you, it was one of the biggest cyber attack I ever witnessed. I was behind the register. Customers were freaking out. Oh my God, gas prices are so high. Oh, I'm losing my mind. This happened across East Florida. Guys, look it up. Go on Google, type in it. Colonial pipeline attack. Ever since then, I'm like, yo, what the heck? You could do this off a freaking laptop, a keyboard? No. There has to be more to this. Spoke with my shift lead on duty and stuff like that. He was going to school for a cybersecurity degree. I'm like, dude, what is this? He's like, dude, this is cybersecurity. Get good, bro. No, seriously, come on. How do I get into the field? Get your CompTIA certs. And ever since then, I'm like, okay, let me start binge watching. Saw your channel and stuff like that. Network Chuck, just saw Kev Tech IT. Saw many channels. And you know what? Let me just get into this. There's already a market for it. Let me get my CompTIA certs and stuff like that. So that's what really gave me that spark in cybersecurity, that colonial pipeline incident.
Yeah, man, that was a big one, because it was something that affected everyday people, right? So you hear a lot of cyber attacks that happen all the time, but this one actually affected like people in the real world, beyond just like, oh, this company got ransomware, this company got a cyber attack, but like this was something that was a lot more closer to the people. And I think that it was really interesting that was like, what sparked the initial interest. But after that initial interest, like what were those steps you took, and what motivated you to take those steps to transition from your cashier role to working in a cybersecurity role?
Great question. So it started January 2022. This is the exact steps.
I love the timelines, man.
Got it on the calendar. So yeah, it's January 2022. That's when I first got my Sec Plus. It was on the second day of that month. Got my Sec Plus. I'm like, wow, I feel like a tech god. Let me start applying for jobs. I got disappointed. I'm like, oh shoot, it's more than the Sec Plus and stuff like that. So that's when I started creating projects. Got a lot of projects under my belt. Did a Robinhood attack case study. Did some BTL1 free introductory courses and stuff like that. Did all that stuff. It still wasn't enough. May of 2022, got my AWS CCP. Try to get a little cloud. I was in my cloud phase. Shout out to GPS and stuff like that. It still wasn't enough. April 2022, got my Network Plus. You know what? We're securing the network, right? So might as well get my Network Plus skills. Yeah. Got it. It still wasn't enough. Got my first tech job June 2022. All right. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a knock tech. This is great. 2 months after that, you were pumping out content on the BTL1. I was binge watching. I'm like, dang, he's really selling this stuff. Like 24 hour lab. Like, oh my God, in the browser, copped it. Got it. And, studied 25 days, dumped 12 hours a day into it. And then got the BTL1 on August 2022. Ever since then, that same week, I got the BTL1. I believe it was a Sunday, early Sunday morning. Posted it on LinkedIn, blew up over 35,000 impressions. Got 2 job offers for cybersecurity. I remember we were talking about that in the Discord chat. Actually, got one for Ring Central security analyst, and I got another one as a SOC analyst for a women-owned company that same week. And that's what really kickstarted my cybersecurity career. Guys, I put in a lot of work. I didn't just get a magical cert. I didn't know. I had to put in a lot of work. Yeah. My butt off, and then bam, 2 job offers. I'm like, yo, let's get it.
Yeah. Nah, man, I love it, man. I love it. So, like, you over the course of that period, like you mentioned some challenges. Like you were like, it was not enough. It was all of it as you were going was just never really enough. Like, what are those challenges, and what are all the challenges you faced, and how did you actually overcome them?
Yeah, so one of my main challenges, and when I was studying for the Sec Plus, I was working as a health trust associate, customer service for ACA. Ironically, that got hacked. ACA got hacked. If you guys look it up right now, the hospital, they're one of the biggest hospitals in the world. They recently just suffered a data breach. So I thought that was ironic. So I was working as a customer service agent at that point, studying for the Sec Plus. And even one of the main challenges I had, because I try to move up within the company. Guys, I got my Sec Plus. Can I move up? No, you lack IT experience. That was one of my main things. We all know about these job postings when it comes to cybersecurity. Five years experience, all this. I like the experience. I couldn't cheat the experience. This ain't a video game. I couldn't do glitches. I came from cashiering. So that was one of the main things I suffered from, that lack of experience. How did I counteract that? Building a portfolio, building a CV, becoming so good they can't ignore you. Shout out to Cal Newport. That's how I counteract that experience, barrier, that blockade. So that was the main thing. Another main thing, lacking those hard skills. I had the soft skills. I could talk. We could chop it up. Lacking the hard skill. Hey, do you even know what Tally is? What? Do you know how to boot up a terminal? No, I don't know what that is. Do you know what TCP, UDP? No, I don't. Getting those hard skills. So that's why I really had to harken it. I had to stop the cert collecting like Pokemon cards. I had to get those, labs, try hack me, hack the box, BTLO, get those hard skills so I can show employers, hey, I can do the jobs. Yes, I got the search for the job, but I can do it. So those are the 2 main roadblocks I faced: the lack of IT experience and those lack of hard skills, because I didn't come from a traditional IT background.
I love the emphasis on those hard skills, right? Because you're like, you got all these certifications, like you were actually like you're on your grind, right? You were going after these certifications, studying for them, gaining the knowledge, but those hard skills are just invaluable. Those are the things that you speak to when you're in an interview, and you can't really get them except you actually like build those hands-on experience from labs, from projects and stuff like that. So I really love the emphasis on that. So beyond just, we're going to go more and more to your experience later on, but another major aspect of your journey is like WGU. You mentioned that you recently graduated, so congrats on that. And I believe we graduated at the same time, right?
Yes.
We were in the same commencement, right?
Commencement, yeah.
It's crazy that I never saw you, but yeah, let's talk about WGU, right? So WGU is also another, major thing in this, whole IT experience. When people talk about college, should I go to college? What's the best way to do it? Like, what's the most affordable way to do it? How did your experience at WGU contribute to your career in cybersecurity? This video is brought to you by my LinkedIn Learning course. I've spent the last couple of years immersed in the world of cybersecurity, dedicating my career to detecting, responding, and building engineering solutions for threats against cloud environments, including ones for Fortune 500 companies and even some of your favorite tech and non-tech companies. From this invaluable experience, I have created comprehensive cloud forensics and incident response labs on training platforms you're familiar with, like Let's Defend and Blue Team Labs Online by Security Blue Team. And these labs were designed for individuals keen on learning how to detect and respond to cloud threats. But you know what? I felt like I could do way more. And that's why I'm excited to present to you my very first course on LinkedIn Learning, introducing my Introduction to AWS Threat Detection course. In this course, you'll dive into the essentials needed to build and enhance your skills in AWS threat detection. Whether you're a SOC analyst, a cloud security engineer, a cloud engineer, a DevOps engineer, or a DevSecOps engineer, this course has got you covered with all the necessary knowledge that you need to kickstart your journey in AWS threat detection. So if that sounds exciting to you, make sure to click the link in this video's description or the pinned comments or the link in my bio to get started. I can't wait to see you in the course.
Heck yeah. And, just want to give shout out. I do have my WGU thing right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So WGU, this is a great school because think about this. A lot of guys don't know this. How did I get introduced to WGU? I did go to a traditional community college and, dropped out and stuff like that because I'm like, you know what? This isn't for me and stuff like that. I can't learn like this. It started on January of 2022. I started researching online. Mom was kind of sad. Man, you dropped out of college. I don't want you to be a statistic. Please get back in. I'm like, okay, I don't want to go to a traditional college. What can I find online that could suit my way of learning, self-paced? That's where WGU came up. And check this out. When I was a customer service agent at HealthTrust, they're actually partnered with WGU. Believe it or not, 50% or more of WGU students pursue nursing degrees. People don't know that. IT is like around 4%. Majority of students are nurses check it out. Look at the statistic. So since I worked as an HR customer service person at HCA, I will see these nurses with WGU degrees. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then we were partnered with them. So I managed to get a 10% discount off the tuition. So it started on March. But that's when I first started, March 2022, my first term at WGU. Shout out to my mentor, Thomas Shepard. Love you, man. And I paid out of pocket. Paid out of pocket. And I'm like, you know what? This is for me. My mindset was to get that degree to show my current employer, hey, although I got my Sec Plus, let me actually get a degree so I could potentially move up in the company. Obviously, that didn't happen. As the story I brought out earlier, I managed to get other employment. But that was pretty much my journey with WGU. Love the school, self-paced. Guys, if you're listening, although it's not open up to international students right now, if you're listening, pursue WGU. They got cloud computing. They just lost a software engineering degree this year in March. Guys, there's so many degrees in WGU you could get for an affordable price. No debt. I have students hitting me up. Hey, I'm in student loan debt. Do you have any recommendation? WGU, 3 letters. That's it.
Just 3 letters. WGU is the solution to all the problems, man. No, I love it, man. I love it. I wouldn't trade my WGU experience for anything else, right? I used to be a little bit, insecure about my non-traditional school experience. Like, all of my friends went to a traditional school, right? They had all the college experience, right? The college parties, all of those things, right? I was at home, like online, doing it by myself. But I think it was the best thing. I have no debt whatsoever, no college debt, and, have a degree, right? So that's absolutely great. And I want to dig a bit deeper into WGU, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, WGU is just like cert-based. You just take certifications and all that. I'm like, there's a lot more to it. Like, you get what you put into it, right? That's what WGU really is all about. So were there any specific courses or programs that you did at WGU that you found particularly beneficial for your cybersecurity career?
Oh my God, that's a really great question. Also, before I answer that question, I want to preface this with WGU. I did my bachelor degree within 11 months. My full tuition, I'm public disclosure, $5,400. That was it.
Yes.
$5,400 out of pocket.
Yes.
So just finesse a degree, pretty much like that. So, but the experience at WGU taught me a lot of stuff. I went for a more business degree with a minor in information technology management. So I learned stuff like, okay, recruitment. What are some best ways to seek out a top tier candidate? Although I wasn't a really recruiter per se, I learned from the flip side. Okay, this is what they're looking for. They're looking for that fit. I learned about attrition rate. What is an attrition rate? Oh, okay, why employees leave and all. So I learned business side and all that stuff to really build up my skills. Learn how to build a brand. Learn how to market myself. All through what? The business degree at WGU. So it taught me a lot of stuff. When it came to teamwork, how to build great synergy with your team and stuff like that. Don't be that jerk. Don't be a know-it-all. You could be that senior dev in your workforce. I'm not teaching the junior. Oh, we got interns. I'm not telling them anything. Guys, no, come on. The business degree, WGU taught me a lot about building that safe work, work culture and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the WGU degree, and the learning really prepared me for my cybersecurity journey and career, although it wasn't an IT degree, because it gave me those soft skills and that business mindset.
Yeah.
We know in cybersecurity, it's this business behind it. You got budgets, you got stakeholders and stuff like that. Hey, all that pairs up with cybersecurity. So that was my learning, my knowledge I managed to extract from my WGU tenure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of value in any degree program you go for at WGU, right? There's a lot of these things that you learn. Like for me personally, like it's crazy to say, but in my IT degree, one of the best things that my IT degree taught me was SQL, right? Like I use SQL a lot, like at my job. So like people be like, oh, all you just do is take certifications. No, you actually like learn skills that you are going to be using at your role, but you're only going to get what you put into it, the amount of time and effort that you spend in classes. Because of course, acceleration is a benefit in the sense that you're not waiting for a full semester, 8 weeks, 16 weeks to get a course done. But at the same time, it could be to your detriment if you're not actually taking time to assimilate the information that you're getting from the course. So, you obviously are a WGU success story, just like myself. What advice would you have for anyone who wants to pursue this program and use it to start or propel their IT or cybersecurity career?
Great question. I'm actually working with a couple students right now, and they come from Amazon. Guys, if you work for Amazon, I believe KFC as well, you work for these companies that provide free tuition for WGU, take advantage of that. You'll be surprised, Dave, how many students said, hey, I don't want to take advantage. I'm scared. What if I get laid off? Guys, come on. Take advantage of that free tuition your employer is providing you. So those are for those students working for those partnership with the company. I took advantage of the discount. So take advantage of that so you could get a lower, price to your tuition. Another thing, look into scholarships. There's a lot of scholarships online you guys can look into to lower that price. So that's that up front. Another thing, guys, tuition is 6 months. Every 6 months you'll pay. So try to have and you can do install payments. A lot of people don't know that. You can pay once every month and stuff like that. So look into that. So that's from the finance side and stuff like that. Make sure you have a budget. Make sure you have some money saved up so you can afford the tuition. Now for those speed runners, those who really want to get a head start, there's stuff like Sophia. There's a lot of you could get certs on the side and then transfer them in, get your credit evals. One tip right now, according to the time of this recording, you can only transfer up, I believe it's you can't go over 75%. Correct me if I'm wrong. You cannot go over 75% of the credit unit of the degree program. So that's one of the rules in WGU. So make sure it's under that 75% or 70%. So you could just have 30% left or 35%. Keep that in mind. Another thing, guys, look into Reddit. This is something I use a lot. I'll type in a course code, let's say D0 2022. Reddit and stuff like that. So I see how people pass it. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Don't read the course materials. Got it. Oh, just go on Udemy. Got it. Oh, course materials trash. Okay, cool. No, listen to the instructor. Guys, that's all you have to do. That's really all you have to do. Research the class, see how other students did it, and then pursue it on your own. As Dave mentioned, WGU takes a lot of discipline. You have no classmates. You have no class unless the course chatter. You remember that day? That's all you got. Just the course chatter and stuff like that, and your mentor. So you have no classmates. As you mentioned, we both came from online school, so you're not really have that network behind you. Hey, what you do for that, or what you did for that. You guys got to be very disciplined when it comes to WGU, because you could easily slack off. There's no penalization when you don't turn in assignments and stuff like that. It's up to you. So guys, really, really keywords, look into great tuition, look into, affording the degree. If you're speed running, do some prereqs already, you'll be surprised. Some of the prereqs you could do are actually easier than the course material, And then lastly, have a discipline pattern. What I did, because I work 40 hours to 60 hours a week during my WGU tenure. So really discipline myself. I think I did like a standard 9 to 5, and then from 5 to let's say 10, straight WGU. That's it. So you want to have that schedule, there's the Pomodoro technique, 80-20 rule and stuff like that. Actually, I want to bring this out right here. This is from Cal Newport, digital minimalism. Guys, we know social media. We know about social media. Instead of flicking through, we got the new one, Threads out. You got Thread out. So you're flicking through Thread for 2 hours, and then you complain you have no time to study. Stop it. No, you do have time to study.
Yeah.
So that's my advice. That's my advice.
No, man, I love it, man. I love it. I love all the recommendations, especially starting from using all the resources you have access to. If your company is partnered with WGU for the degree program, take advantage of it. Like use that advantage that you have for discounted education to pursue your education, right? And also like talking about like actually approaching like studying, right? Like maybe like if you want to transfer like some Sophia classes or certification, there's so many ways. WGU makes it so easy for you to do this, right? It's like you just have to put in the work. Like it's there, just put in the work. That's all you have to do. And I also love the emphasis on your focus, right? If you want to get this done, you're gonna have to make sacrifices. Like you can't get this degree done. You can't anything really that's gonna be a lot of effort. You can't get done without your focus, right? And I love you bringing out the point of like digital minimalism. I read the book like a year or two ago. I think I did a video on it like as well. It might be in my books play. If it's in my books playlist, I'll leave a link to it on the screen. But that book is a really great book. It goes to show you like how much goes into like your attention, especially with like the current digital age. And that's one thing that Cal Newport has studied a lot, like with this book, Deep Work, and now the digital minimalism book. So yeah, there's so many possibilities with you just like putting your heads down and get into work. And I think a lot of people need to spend more time and focus doing that, especially if they want to approach like getting a degree or even a certification, whatever the case is. But thank you for sharing that experience. Now let's get into your role as a content engineer. So you recently joined Security Blue Team, one of my personal favorite companies.
Oh, wow.
As a content engineer. I mean, I talk about them all the time, right? I talk about the Blue Team Level 1 all the time, talk about their labs, all of those things. So start us off by explaining what exactly is a content engineer? Because I know that people are not too familiar with that sort of role.
On this channel, I talk a lot about breaking into cybersecurity, and with my recent experience going over the new Google and Microsoft cybersecurity courses, I can vouch for these programs and their credibility, and I've done multiple videos on the channel about them. So if you'd like to try either or both of these courses, use the link in the description to get a 7-day free trial to get started.
So great question. A content engineer, let's look at the wording. Let's break down the etymology of the word. Engineer, builder, constructor, and stuff like that. Content is just raw data, piece of raw data. So you're building content from raw data and stuff like that. Think about statistics. They're just raw data, but they have context to it. So you as a content engineer, you're building out labs, in this case, Blue Team Defensive Labs, using data and stuff like that. So you could build out OSINT labs, threat hunter labs, and stuff like that. Building those labs out for practitioners, aspiring cybersecurity professionals could get that training, and you could get that knowledge to become a great cybersecurity professional. So a content engineer, you're a builder. That's pretty much you are. You are a builder of content and stuff like that. Same thing like content creator. So that's pretty much content engineering in itself. The wording right there.
Got you. So I want to get into the skills and qualifications that were important to secure this role. All right. So because this role is not one that is like very common, right? They're not, I mean, there's a decent amount of like, cybersecurity companies out there, but like companies that actually focus on like content engineering specifically and doing this as a full-time job is not very common. So like what skills and qualifications are important for this role?
Heck yeah, that's a really, really great question and stuff like that. And I actually created a Udemy course titled Content Engineering, believe it or not, 11-hour course and stuff like that. But skills, this is very important. I want everyone to listen up and stuff like that. You brought up companies. You have companies like Hack the Box, Cyber Defenders, Try Hack Me. They're currently hiring for content engineering role and stuff like that. So the career is building up. It's really popping up because we need students. We need, I just said we need content creators to build out these labs for students to, I guess, chew on and get their skills up and stuff like that, get their daily cybersecurity protein. Now, these are the skills really needed for content engineering. First, obviously a background in cybersecurity, that helps, having that expertise in cybersecurity so you know what to draw on. Hey, when I was at the workforce, we had an incident like this. I could possibly build a scenario around that. So having that experience, but aside from that, creativity, believe it or not, creativity. So learning skills like Canva, which is a great platform to build content and stuff like that. Canva. What else do I use as a content engineer? DaVinci Resolve, if you want to build blogs and videos and stuff like that. Google Docs, if you want to build blogs, advertise. Notion. I use Notion all the time. Notion to track your work and stuff like that, track your progress. You'd be surprised. I'm working on so many BTLO labs, track them all in Notion and stuff like that. Okay, that one's there, that one's there. So having that engineering skills and using the tools, content creating tools, you could build amazing labs and stuff like that. I'm telling you guys, this thing goes deep. This thing, and I'll tell you guys this, exclusive. I'll tell you that we just hired another person on the team. This dude comes from a crazy background. I'm telling you, OSCP, SAN certs, 20 years in the game. Even he wants to become a content engineer. So let that tell you something and stuff like that. I'm like, why? I want to be that instructor. I want to be a part of the 70,000 students with Security Blue Team building out content to help the next generation of cybersecurity defender. So the skills you guys really need is creativity. Believe it or not, creativity. Because And check this out. I talk to instructors all the time across my employments and stuff like that. One thing they asked me, and I had a great call with an instructor last night. Malik, man, I'm just running out of content to teach for my students. Like, I might just quit. Real talk. Nice. Real talk. We cannot run out of content and stuff like that. There's always something to teach students. There's always something to do. So as a content engineer, you're always pulling from your mind and building out these scenarios with these tools we have available and stuff like that. So those are the main tools I'll give people, regarding that. And if I could squeeze into this, how I even got this role, it all started on April 2023. Dates.
Again with the dates. Yeah.
So April 2023, this is doom and gloom, but I was laid off from my cybersecurity job. It's unfortunate. It happens. And for those that don't know, we're going through a major tech layoff in 2023. Go on layoff, I believe it's FYI. Over 213,000 counting right now. So it's very rough. I was affected, but I didn't let that bring me down. I'm like, hey, I have skills. I graduated from WGU. I have certification. Let me hit the market. Let me try the market. I applied to WGU Security Blue Team, CySec. CySec happened to launch that same month, I believe, or a month prior. I applied to CySec, and this is a global position. So I was competing with people in the UK, Australia, Germany, and stuff like that. And what really made me stand out, and I'm telling Josh, if Josh, you're watching right now, Josh told me what really made me stand out. Again, the energy that, that's right. I don't drink coffee. I'm on water right now. That energy and stuff like that. And that content creation. Because guys, you can't say, okay, I'm passionate about cybersecurity. How can you display passion? Passion is something intangible. How can you display that? Do a portfolio, a CV. You're passionate about cybersecurity. Let me see your YouTube channel. Let me see your Medium posts and stuff like that. Let me see your blog. Let me see your home labs and stuff like that. Let me see your certs. That's how you demonstrate passion and stuff like that. I have a lot of students. They tell me, you know what? I've been playing with computers since I was 10 years old. I'm passionate about cybersecurity. What do you have to your resume? Nothing.
Right.
That's how I really got the place, because I had a CV, I had the portfolio and stuff like that. So yeah, got the job and stuff like that. And dude, we're doing big things, and we got a lot of stuff coming out. But that's how I really got the job, and those are the tools I use. And remember, creativity. You need that as a content engineer. Creativity.
Yeah, man, I love it, man. I love it. I love the creativity, the passion, everything, all those points. I think, and I to your point about content engineering being a very, very a role focused on creativity and engineering as well. I can definitely attest to that, because I've also been venturing into it a little bit on the side. So I've been building out various labs for cloud security, AWS, Google Cloud, on various platforms. You might have seen my Grumpy Dev lab on Blue Team Labs Online. I have 5 other ones on other platforms that I've been building. I'm building more and more. So it's definitely something that is it requires a lot of creativity, right? Even with my LinkedIn Learning course, a lot of content engineering went into that, because I have to build different infrastructure to simulate different attacks and how to investigate those attacks for cloud environments, which is going to be coming out next month, I believe. But more of that later. Basically, right, the thing about it is you're basically bringing your experience, right, and your creativity to teach someone something that they don't know about, right? And I think for me, as someone who just enjoys and loves being an educator, I think you're also the same kind of way. It just helps you channel that creativity into something positive, and in a way that it's going to be evergreen for anyone who wants to learn that skill. Because you make that content, you make that lab, even though let's say you make the lab in in the first 30 days, 100 people play that lab. There's going to be more people every month, every year, every week that are going to come back to play that lab, work on that lab, and learn something new. There's never going to be a time where that lab is not going to provide information for someone to learn from. And I just love that you're able to put something out there into the world, and it helps people to continuously learn about cybersecurity for years or decades, however long to come. I think it's definitely, like you said, it's a role that's more up and coming right now, because there's definitely a lot of emphasis and desire for good cybersecurity training. And I think Security Blue Team is at the forefront of that. And speaking of Security Blue Team, what is the team like at Security Blue Team? What is the work culture? Because I also have another person I know who works at Security Blue Team, and he's always posting about it on LinkedIn and everything. So could you give us an inside scoop, as much as you can say about that?
Yeah, dude, the team is very talented. We got Dora, graphic designer. Shout out to Dora. I'm telling you, she's an artist when it comes to that. We got John, the senior web developer. Dude's a beast, and he does a lot. Student support, BTLO support, and stuff like that. We got Josh, the CEO, lead trainer, the brains behind the whole organization. And who else? We got Nick, my coworker, content engineer. Nick's a beast. He came from cybersecurity, many years in cybersecurity. So he specializes in incident response, DFIR. We got, who else we got? We got Alex. He's new to the team. Dude's a freaking beast. We got Mel, our content strategist, our social media marketer. Mel's very witty. She has a lot of jokes, and she's very humorous. So shout out to you, Mel, if you're watching. We got so many people. We got Burn, another web developer in the Philippines. We got a lot of people on the team. We got Trevor. How can I forget Trevor, the lead cloud developer? Trev, if you're listening to me, content engineer, best team. You know, we got Ifani. You know, shout out to Ifani. You know, young dude, he actually turned cloud dude. I mean, come on, bro.
Yeah. I probably should have him on the podcast soon.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Okay, we got Ifani. We got Ahmed. You know, cloud dude. I'm telling you, we got a stacked team. And the team, dude, we got a lively chat and teams. We're always joking around, sending memes, GIFs, and stuff like that. You know, oh no, you're this. It's very cool. And these guys are talented. I was very surprised how much they built throughout these years with a few teams, very small teams. So, and also this, you know, inside information, we are planning a company vacation in the UK. So I'll be traveling to the UK, fully paid for by Security Blue Team. Got my passport, so we're going, man.
That's awesome, man. That's exciting, man. I love that. That's for you, man.
But yeah, the team culture is very, very great, man. And we got a lot of stuff planned. You know, new certifications coming out, more content to BTLO, a lot of new stuff. You know, and even when it comes to the students and stuff like that, shout out to the students. I am a moderator on the Discord and stuff like that. So I see students, you know, voice their concerns. Hey, this lab was too easy, but it's rated as hard. Hey, can you bring more labs into this concept and stuff like that? Can you do this? So when I talk about content engineering, you're listening to the students, those are the customers and stuff like that. So you want to tailor your content to their likings. You're not just building random stuff out. You know, no, you're building out stuff for that. And check this out. This new certification, I can't say right now, but it's going to be launching soon. The new certification that is launching right now, that was a recommendation from a business, a customer. He's like, yo, Josh, you guys should make a certification around this topic. Bam, we started working on it. So content engineering, you're listening to the customers and stuff like that. And that's something I learned from Cashier and stuff like that. The customer's always right. You know, we're not selling products to random people. We're selling products that customers need and stuff like that. So just wanted to drop that, you know.
Yeah, man, I love it, man. I always see, like, you know, all the fun posts about Security Blue Team on LinkedIn. I'm like, man, they're having a lot of fun over there, man, and they're still getting a lot of work done. And you know, I love and believe in the company because it was one of the first companies that actually like publicized and brought more emphasis into practical blue team training for cybersecurity professionals, right? Like, especially with the Blue Team Level 1, like it's definitely one of the major blue team entry-level trainings for people who want to get into like security operations and defensive security. So I'm definitely excited to see their growth and, you know, everything that comes from whatever you guys are working on over there. But let's go into something else as well that's also very common to both of us, making YouTube videos, sharing your journey and making labs, right? So you have a YouTube channel where you create cybersecurity content. And by the way, if you're interested in checking out the channel, it'll be linked in the description, so definitely check it out. But what motivated you to start creating YouTube content about, you know, videos about your journey?
Hey, sorry to interrupt the video, but you know what's crazy? Over 70% of you watching right now are not subscribed. So please do me a favor. If you're liking this video so far, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and hit the bell notification to stay up to date on what's going on the channel. Also, leave a comment down below if you're feeling extra generous. Thanks for your support, and now back to the video.
Yeah, great question. I started my YouTube channel in November 2022, you know, last year and stuff like that. And this was actually one of my students. You know, one of my students, he's like, you know what? You should make a YouTube channel so people can see the work and see the rewards, the fruit of your reward you're getting, because you're putting in the work, but no one knows and stuff like that. So I'm like, really? You think I should do that? Yeah, just make a YouTube channel. All right. Made a YouTube channel and stuff like that. So I started off with knock technician videos and stuff like that. A lot of people said they got jobs off of that. They got job interviews. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I started doing reviews on cybersecurity news and stuff like that. A lot of people didn't really like that and stuff like that. And then I really started doing reviews on certification, career topic, career guides and stuff like that. And people really like that. But what I noticed, but people really like my story, my background. So when I'm talking about desk setups, when I'm talking about new this or new that, people really hearken to that. And I'm reading every single comments. People are like, yo, you're inspiring. You know, you're a brother like I am. You're a minority like I am. This is inspiring to me. I'm like, damn, I'm just making YouTube videos. I'm not a revolutionary leader, but you know, you're inspiring me. I'm like, damn, wow. So that, you know, that started the YouTube journey and stuff like that. And, you know, I got more content coming out. You know, definitely going to film the UK trip. So look out for that. Got a trip to Black Hat USA 2023. So definitely going to fly out there and film that. So a lot of cool stuff coming out, you know, for you guys and stuff like that. So stay tuned. But yeah, that's pretty much how I started my YouTube channel. And what
I love it, man. I love it. I was going to be I was planning on coming to Vegas for Black Hat and DEF CON, but I decided to just not do it this year. It would be great to meet, but definitely next year for sure. Next year for sure. But yeah, so like, you know, you're into this process of like creating content, whether it's like YouTube content or like, you know, your lab content, like your educational content. can you walk us through your brain, like your process of, creating content, whether it's a cybersecurity lab, and how, they help you contribute to educational content? Like when you want to approach creating something, right? How do you sit down and be like, okay, I want to teach this topic. This is how I'm going to approach it.
Great question. So to start off, I guess Security Blue Team, because I'm working on a lot of labs right now. So the labs I'm working on I finished. There's a lab called Chef. Chef is a lab. You have somebody named Gregorio Kitchen. All right. He wants to be the #1 chef in the world. He applied for this UK restaurant called Project Site. So he's applying to the restaurant. And I don't know if I could. Yeah, I have the lab to show you guys, but he's applying for this UK restaurant and stuff like that. And he's getting in. He's applying all that stuff. It's a top tier company. Now the HR wants you, the student, cybersecurity expert, to do an ad hoc background check on him because they can't afford a background check. Just do an ad hoc on him, scan his profile. So they give you his resume, his his documents and stuff like that, and you as the expert go through it. When you go through that lab, you're gonna see stuff like his vaccine cards. You're gonna see stuff like his drug history and stuff like that, his education, his resume and stuff like that. So you're going through the eyes of an HR recruiter. The reason that lab is so inspiring because I used to do that as an HR person, customer service HR. So you're seeing through the eyes of what I used to do when I did to the nurses and doctors and stuff like that. So that's that lab. You have another lab called the Birthday Lab. This is somebody named Robert. He's an employee at a company called Evoke, Cybersecurity UK company. He sends a mass email across the company, chain, the all email, and that's kind of strange to do as a new employee. This email has a link to his daughter's birthday card. Now, when you go to that link and stuff like that, it seems kind of strange. All right, whatever. You click the link, it lands to an Amazon wish list. But when you look at the URL, that's not Amazon. It's a credentialing harvesting site. So my labs I really get inspired by my labs through movies, films, real life scenarios and stuff like that, and my personal experience. I'm telling you, I have fun. I'm currently working on a lab right now called Cypher. Man, Cypher is amazing. Basically, you have this guy named Lucas Knight. He's a cybersecurity engineer. He stole the source code for this company. This company has a source code or a product called God's Eye. It's a cloud AI product that analyzes threats and stuff like that in real time. He stole the source code. We don't know how he got it. We don't know if it was poor IAM configurations in the cloud or he social engineer, DevOps engineer. We just don't know. But he stole the source code. Now he can sell that to the black market, build bugs off of it. So you, as a threat hunter, track down how he did it and track down where he's at right now. So I got a crazy thing. I just finished building his passport. He went to a certain location in the world. You got to figure that out and stuff like that. So yeah, it gets crazy, man. It gets crazy. That's my mindset. Movies. And now what I'm doing a lot, I'm reading more news articles as always and stuff like that, watching more movies to generate more ideas into my content and stuff like that, and for students to have fun. Because trust me, I read in the Discord chat, students like, I'm sick of these freaking Morse code challenges. I see that. Ones and zeros. I'm sick of that stuff. All right, don't worry. I got some cool labs coming out. You're gonna have fun with these. Yeah, that's my process.
I love it, man. I love the creativity that goes into that. So like and I agree with you. There's a lot of like really mundane and boring things when it comes to like all these labs that you work on, but like bringing a different spin to it where like it's more engaging. It puts you like this is real. It feels a lot more real. Like it feels like this is like I'm at work right now and I'm actually doing this, right? So like the realism actually makes it puts that a bit of pressure in your brain. It's like, okay, like I actually have to. I'm more incentivized. I'm more motivated to actually like work on this, to actually like investigate what happened here and figure out what happened. But yeah, I love it, man. My process is a bit different from that, but it's definitely something I'm going to take and start applying to my process for creating labs. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about other communities you're part of. So you're part of the Security Blue Team Discord channels, also part of the Cyber Academy channel, but you're also in communities like Black Girls Hack and Black Heights, I believe. How did you join those communities, and what do you do as part of those communities?
Yeah, great question. So Black Heights, I found Black Heights. I believe it was during November 2021. I found Black Heights. It's owned by Anton Wade. He is the owner of Black Heights. That's one of my mentors. Shout out to him if you're listening. And it's pretty much a community. It's paid option only, so it's a private community, paid option only, and it's filled with a lot of minorities, but other people could join as well too. We really push in mentorship. We talk about, quote unquote, getting to the bag, career advice and all that good stuff. And that chat really, really taught me a lot of key things. Like, as Anton says, toot your own horn. I'm like, I never understood what that meant. What do you mean I don't want to be braggadocious. No. toot your horn. You got Sec Plus, throw a party. You got BTO1, make a post on LinkedIn, toot your horn because you worked hard, and you'd be surprised how many people are looking at that, and that could give you opportunities and stuff like that. So you brought out toot your horn. Another group I'm in, Black Girls Hack, as you mentioned. That group I found out, and this is the story regarding that. I was back in 2020, 2021. I was looking for mentorship. So I fell upon this group called the Convergence Mentorship Program. I applied. I didn't get word until January 2023 this year. Michelle Scotes, shout out to you if you're listening. She hit me up like, hey, you've been accepted to the mentorship program. We're going to pair you up with a cybersecurity mentor. I'm like, oh, okay, great. My mentor was Tanisha Martin. Yes. And I first met her in March 2023. And she's the CEO of Black Girls Hack. The first time we talked, 15 minutes within the interview, she's like, you know what? Work for me. You're an instructor now. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, yeah, bet. So just like that, and we're like this. And she's the one who, that's how I got the SAM scholarship. Through her organization, a $30,000 SAM scholarship. So shout out to you, Tanisha Martin. She paid for the Black Girls Hack, Black Hat event, flight, and everything. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone in Black Girls Hack. A great organization and stuff like that. So I'm telling you guys, communities are very important. You got the Day Cyberwalks Academy, great community. Believe it or not, that when you go to the job section of your Discord chat, the postings are amazing. I actually used one of the postings to get a job. Believe it or not. Yes. I believe Linda Belcher. I may be saying her name wrong. She posted a great job there. Got an internship just like that. So guys, go to that community. Great community. Another community I want to plug, and you're familiar with it, the OXP Discord. You already know. Yeah, shout out to Premier if you're listening to it. Great community filled with red team and blue teamers and stuff like that. So guys, the moral of the story is join communities and stuff like that. Okay, you want to be a lone wolf in cybersecurity. You're not going to get far. I'm going to be honest with you. You need to be around like-minded individuals because you'll pick up so much game and stuff like that. You pick up so much insight. Oh, I never thought about it like that. Oh, no, actually that makes sense and stuff like that. Oh, wait, you tell me the CEH is trash and the OSCP is better. Got it. You learn so much, guys, being around like-minded individuals and mentorship. So really look out for that. But that's my history on the communities and stuff like that. Love them to this day.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I love it. I will leave the links to all those communities in the description, the Discord, all of them, the links and everything. Definitely join those communities. And I love, the way you broke down, your different involvements in these communities and like the different things they've brought to you. And I think communities are some things that like sometimes people overlook in cybersecurity, right? Especially if you're introverted. And I feel like a lot of us in cybersecurity are introverted people. If you want to, I think there's the quote that says like, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, you have to go with other people. All right. If you want to, actually build a career in cybersecurity, you want to like really, really, have your fullest potential in this career, then having community is important. All the people that I know that are successful at what they do, they're in some sort of community, whether it's a Discord, whether it's like a Slack chat, whether it's even a Twitter community. The people are in some sort of community that have like-minded people who are always trying to learn new things, people who are always like asking questions, who are sharing job postings, who are hiring. There's always got to be some sort of community element if you really want to be successful in cybersecurity. So definitely go out there, find communities, look at the ones in the description, go into them, introduce yourself, communicate with people, have conversations, ask questions, meet people, right? Like from our community, Cyberworks Academy, there's been a lot of people who have met each other. Like you think they've been friends for so long, but they've actually never even met each other. But it's great because like you get people who are like-minded like you. They answer your questions, they encourage you, they motivate you. You see someone pass the certification. Recently, we had a lot of people pass like the Blue Team Level 1 in the channel. We had Emily pass the Blue Team Level 1, and more people are taking the certification. Like it keeps everybody motivated and everyone's working towards a common goal. So it really helps keep everybody grounded. So definitely recommend joining the community. So let's talk a bit about your layoff experience, because this is something that I think might be a common to a lot of other people right now, whether they're in cybersecurity, tech, or they're in other industries, right? This was definitely something that I'm sure sort of affected you in some way or another, but obviously you were able to get back from it. So how was the experience like? What plans did you have in place, and how were you able to like get yourself out of it into another position relatively quickly?
If you're looking for a simple and straightforward entry-level resume template to showcase your skills, certifications, and projects as a new cybersecurity professional, or a career framework and planner to help you track and progress in your cybersecurity career, then you should definitely check out the Cyberwalks entry-level resume template or the Cyberwalks cybersecurity learning framework to get started. Links for both will be in the description.
Great question, Dave. Guys, listen up. This is serious right now. We're getting to a serious topic. So layoff, this is real and stuff like that. If you live in America like we both do, you'll hear something called at-will employment. All right. This is a law you sign when you get your offer letter in your employment account. You sign it. You agree to it, which means you could get terminated for no reason or for any reason at any point in time. So keep that in mind and stuff like that. Don't get paranoid, but keep that in mind. So my experience, this is how it all started. I was a SOC analyst for a certain company, and there for 8 months. It started on a Thursday morning. All right, Thursday morning back in April 2023. Logged in, doing some scene tickets. All right, looking at alerts, and then I get a Teams meeting to HR. I'm like, okay, whatever. I join. Hey Malik, we love you, right? You know we're a family, right? I'm like, yeah. Well, you're being let go today. So you're gonna get a USPS label through your personal email. Just put our laptop in there, ship it back, and yeah, we'll give you your final paycheck next month. I'm like, whoa, what the? Just like that. I'm not gonna lie, I never cried since that day, but I'm like, damn, what the heck? This is cybersecurity. Like, who's going to protect your network now? That's what I thought to my mind. But this is how I prepared and stuff like that, because I always had this preparation mindset even back last year. Guys, and you mentioned this book, Dave, believe it or not, The Financial Starter Kit. If you go on Dave's channel, he mentioned that book. I believe that's by Simone's Beats. Great book. So I took that book into play, have multiple bank accounts and stuff like that, have some for savings, emergency funds, and all that stuff. So you want to have multiple bank accounts. This is my advice. I have multiple bank accounts and stuff like that. So I have different money for different reasons. Another thing I had multiple jobs. As you guys know, I work many jobs and stuff like that, around 3 to 4 currently right now. It may sound crazy, but it works. That's called overemployment or fire, whatever you want to call it and stuff like that. So I had multiple jobs, so I was easily able to bounce right back. When I got laid off that same day, hit a call back to my customer service, ACA Hospital. Hey, can I pick up like 30 hours a week? Sure. Just like that. I didn't have to stress or anything. So I went back there for a whole month, believe it or not. And what really made me feel kind of down bad, because I was underemployed. Now, there's a difference between overemployed and underemployed. Overemployed, yes, you have multiple jobs. Underemployed, you're working a job which your skill sets are way higher for it. I came with a WGU degree. I had IT certs. Why am I doing customer service again? And stuff like that. So I was underemployed. I'm like, you know what? No. I got to get out of this. Started applying like crazy and stuff like that. Got the BTL1 job, the Black Girl Hack job. I also got a job with Correlation One as a teaching assistant. So I managed to bounce back stronger and went even harder, because I'm like, you know what? That would never happen to me again. I would never be put in a position where I lacked financial income and I'm down bad. I can't help my loved ones. I can't pay bills and stuff like that. No. Never again and stuff like that. So guys, have multiple bank accounts, have extra sources of income. Be mindful of your money. And you Simone B talks about it, lifestyle creep. And Dave, you made a great video about lifestyle creep. I remember that. Okay, I gotta make this so much money. You know what? Let me just splurge. Guys, that's not too wise and stuff like that. Really be mindful. We're living in hard times right now. Be mindful. But that's how I really bounce back from my layoff opportunities. Now I'm in a great position and stuff like that. But I go on Reddit. I go on Reddit all the time. I'm seeing people laid off. Guys, I got put on a PIP plan. I think it's over for me. Guys, you need to prepare. You need to have backup plans, contingency plans. All right. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. So that's my advice when it comes to being laid off and how to bounce back from that.
Yeah, man, I love it, man. I love that advice. I've only been laid off once, and this was before I was working in cybersecurity. I was working a factory job, and man, it was horrible. Like, it was the worst feeling ever. And I promised myself I would never feel that way again. Right? Like, whether it means like having like my emergency fund is like, it's beyond an emergency fund. Like, it's not like this is like a high emergency fund, right? So like, it's not like, because they typically recommend like 3 to 6 months, but like I'm looking at like, if I need more than that, like I need to be able to make sure that all my expenses are paid, because I'm not just supporting myself. I also support like people in my family as well. So I have to make sure that if I'm good, like people around me are also good as well. So I think there's not as much emphasis on like, this is how to actually financially plan. And I think I might even make some more videos about that. I've not really been open about my finances because I don't want to expose myself like that to the world. But I might be able to like share some things that have helped me so far. But I love the aspect of just making sure that you have something in place so that this is not your undoing, right? 'Cause losing a job could completely, just change things drastically in your life, whether that means like not being able to pay rent, not being able to pay your bills, not being able to pay for your credit card, for your car. Like, so many bad things could happen. You have to make sure like when you are in a position where you're earning money, you have enough saved up for a rainy day, so that if anything happens, you're able to pull from that and sustain you to be able to find something to get yourself back on your feet. So I love the recommendation and advice on that part. So let's kind of round up. We've talked about a lot of really great things. I really enjoyed this episode, man. Like I love your insights, your energy, man, your advice. It's amazing. And we might even have it as a repeat guest sometime down the line to share more of what you've been working on. But looking forward, what do you see yourself like in the next few years in terms of your career progression in the cybersecurity field?
Great question. So yeah, I do have a 5-year and 10-year plan, but we could talk about the 5-year plan. So the 5-year plan, for the first year, as I mentioned earlier, I want to finish out these SAMS courses. I have 3 certs I got to finish out: the GFAC, the GVA, and the GCIH. So hopefully that takes me around 9 months to a year. Finish those out. I do see myself pursuing potentially a graduate degree, master's degree, and stuff like that. The reason for that is, I'm teaching right now. I'm teaching for many companies, but what if I want to become an adjunct professor for colleges and stuff like that? Usually the requirements are master's degree and stuff like that. So I do see myself pursuing another master's degree. I do have 2 schools in mind. Georgia Tech, which is a popular recommendation among WGU grads and stuff like that, or potentially go back to WGU and stuff like that. So we have 2 schools in mind. So again, finish these SAM certs, potentially go back to school. I want to, build out my role as a content engineer, add more value to the company and stuff like that, build out my portfolio, build out my brand, and most importantly, stuff like that. Build out my brand by, putting out more YouTube videos and stuff like that, talking more about my experience, mentoring more students and stuff like that. So that's usually the first year. Second year, I want to travel more. I mean, I'll be traveling a lot. I think I'm going on 3 vacations in the next month or so. So I'll be traveling a lot. I do want to experience, because check this out, Dave. I was talking to an elder about this 2 weeks ago. She's way my senior, older than me. And one thing she said to me, and it really hit me in the mind, like, damn, Malik, like, why do I have to wait till age 65 to really enjoy life? Like, you're telling me I worked for 4 years and I've reached age 65. Now I can enjoy.
Yeah.
Heck no. I'm trying to enjoy right now while I'm in my youth. I'm not trying to be in Hawaii with a cane, limping. Heck no. Are you serious? You guys are crazy. So we're flying out. We're going to the UK. We're going to Las Vegas, and we're going to go to more places and stuff like that. Guys, enjoy life. Play hard and work hard and play hard. Real talk.
Yeah.
Enjoy, because you never know when today's your last day. You just never know. And think about this day. This is something I see on Reddit a lot. Think about something you're on your deathbed, all right, surrounded by your family. What do you think is the last thing they're gonna know you for? You know what, Dave? Dave was always at his job at Datadog. He was a workaholic and stuff like that. He never really spent time with the family. So he always did this. He always did. Or do you want to hear that guy was always there for me? And when I was down bad, he answered the phone call. Man, he actually came to my event and gave me help. I want to hear that latter story. I want to hear the part where I'm helping people out. I don't care about, you work so hard. No, I want to hear the part where you help people out. You add value to people. That's what I want to be known for, adding value to people. So I really think about this stuff. How can I do that? Well, I gotta build my skills up. Think about this, Dave. You have an empty water bottle. You have a full water bottle. How can you pour out of an empty bottle? Think of water as wisdom and knowledge. How can you pour out of that? You need to build yourself up. I need to make sure I'm good before I can help you and stuff like that. I want to be this at the end of the day. No, actually, F that. I want to be a guy. I want to be a guy. Let me give you a tap. I can help the community on some philanthropy stuff. So that's my 5-year goal, pretty much. Get my certifications up, get my knowledge up, travel across the world, and become a better person. And Dave, we're both believers and stuff like that. I want to make sure get my spirit up. Real talk. I want to make sure my spirit's right, with the Lord. Want to make sure my health is up. I'm exercising. I'm taking care of my hygiene and stuff like that. Making sure my skin's clear. All that stuff. These are all stuff I think about so I can become the better version of myself. So that's my 5-year plan.
Man, I love it so much, man. I love it, and I love and the reason why I love it so much is because I relate so much to it. By everything you've mentioned, being able to, enjoy it. Like just recently, I've started to learn to enjoy more. Right? I used to be very stiff and rigid with enjoying anything beyond just what I do as my job, but now I'm learning to enjoy things outside of that. Right? Whether that means taking a vacation or just having a little bit of fun every now and then. Of course, knowing that I'm gonna come back and work, twice as hard as I did the last time, right? And pouring into people, mentoring people, putting out content that helps people, making sure that my spirit is right as well, right? My spiritual life is also growing as well, right? Physically, I'm eating healthy, working out, all of that, because all those things are what makes you who you are, make you strong, and also help you to be there for other people as well. So even, like you said, being there for people, like, hanging out with my friends, spending time with them, like calling them, texting, making sure like they're good. People that are around my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, making sure everyone around me is like, in a good place, so that, eventually when, it's at that time where it's like, okay, this is the end, I would look back and I'll look at, okay, it was beyond cybersecurity. It was also life as well. And I really, really love that aspect. And man, you've been an amazing guest. I appreciate you coming on. I feel like there's a lot more we could talk about later on, but I'm excited to put this episode out there. A lot of gems, a lot of wisdom, a lot of things applicable to both cybersecurity and life that people are going to enjoy from this, and I'm looking forward to putting it out. So before we go, where can people find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on LinkedIn at Malik Girondin. Also on YouTube as well. You can find me on YouTube at Malik Girondin. And yeah, I answer all comments and questions. So looking forward to it. Appreciate
Sounds
it.
good. Now I'll have all those links in the description. But thank you so much for hopping in, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I hope to probably have you back sometime soon.
Yeah, no problem, man. Appreciate it, Dave.
Of course, man. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Hey, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Cyber Stories podcast. We really appreciate your support. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to like and subscribe for future episodes, and comment down below the one thing you learned from this podcast. Also, don't forget to check out the video description for various resources to kickstart or advance your cybersecurity career. You can also choose to binge on our previous episodes by clicking on this playlist on your screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.